Good morning. I'm fine. Thank you. What about you? All right. So we do close below this candle, so I would expect for the current candle to push lower. As you know that if price does close below the range, it means that there most likely will be the price will push lower. So let's see. Obviously, I'm looking for buys, but we still have this sell side liquidity down here at the order block, so I want to see if price can do come down to that level. So we don't have news. Good to hear. Good to hear, my friend. Alright, so still going to wait for this current 30-minute candle to close, obviously, to show me what you want to do. But as you can see, that price again extended to the downside from yesterday. You know, price didn't manage to retrace high enough to look for sells, but price did push further down from the from yesterday prices. It didn't retrace too much. Now we can see that from this swing low to from this swing high, price is currently in the 70, in the good area for buys. Now if price wants to come lower, that's fine, but obviously, you know, price can even come lower to this from this swing, from this larger swing. Price can come lower and touch the 70.5% of the fib, which would make sense for price to see if price can push up. Now price can even come lower, but I think that, yeah, we will see. We will wait for price to show us something. But with this kind of candle, I would say that, you know, price may sweep the low and then push higher. But well, obviously, I would look for buys today rather than sells. But again, the buys has to come, has to show us something. It has to show me some willingness to go up, right? I just can't buy blindly. So that's why I'm going to wait for the current 30-minute candle to close. Better option for us, I mean, on the 4-hour time frame, yes, because price, as I said, price can sweep the sell side liquidity here. At the same time, price can touch the order block, and then obviously we can look for buys. Or if price does go up first, then maybe I can look for something to the downside to touch the to sweep the sell side liquidity. In case if we're presented with an opportunity, you possibly research and sell for direct buy from OB, can sit and chill until then. You don't count sell side taken before 9 a.m. Sell side liquidity. What do you mean right here? Before uh you don't count sell side taken before 9 a.m. What do you mean before 9 a.m.? Can you talk more about it? Uh, because I don't you don't count sell side taking before 9 a.m. I mean, what sell side? Here or here? I think he's talking about silver bullet. I mean, entry before 9 a.m. Do you take it? I mean, I don't really trade before 9 a.m. because I get on the charts, right before the 9 a.m. Like, sometimes maybe if I can see, I spot some setups, but it's rare. All right, so looking at the price action right now, I'm still going to wait for price to show me really something for price to go up to sweep the sell side liquidity, maybe touch into the order block on the 4-hour time frame, also at the same time sweeping the 5 p.m. candle low, which is a sell side liquidity, and at the same time we are in the 79% of the FIP, so that's kind of that is a good area to look for potential buys. Now it just depends how price does set up, right? If price goes up first with the 5 p.m. candle high, then maybe we can look for sells down to sell side liquidity. So obviously, device looks much more, you know, device looks for me better, but it just depends how price, if price just wants to push down, that's fine. But obviously, the best I think the best opportunity is to look for buys at these prices right now. So we don't have news. It's Friday, so let's see. So do you look for something, guys, or maybe you're in a trade? So let's talk maybe about your trade. Maybe you are in one. So let's break it down. But of what I can see from the price action right now, you can see that candles are getting smaller and smaller to the downside, which means that you know, the volume to the downside is dying. So obviously, I can look for buys. You know, I can look for buys maybe from here. So later we can look for sells from you know, somewhere up here, and yeah. Euro USD looking bullish from the OB. From the OB. Yeah, maybe, but again, Euro USD is at very, you know, yeah, I don't know. Euro USD, yeah, maybe, but I'm not looking at Euro USD. You know, I just don't really like to look at the, for example, those pairs like Euro USD, you know, GU or whatever, because the fluctuation is very small on the prices. Like if you look, if you know, if you trade like you have to trade the higher time frame on those pairs, because the pips wise is like, you know, even if you take the trade on Euro USD, like right now, for example, right? So you're looking at the 50% of the candle range. So the 4-hour candle on the Euro USD is like 30 pips, right? So 15 pips is like is your like 50% of the 4-hour candle range. That means that you're looking for the 15%, 15 pips of the move, right? So yeah. So yeah, like I will wait for the 30-minute candle to close, and I will see what price does. If price does push down further, and then I can look for something, you know, forming to the upside, right? If price just keeps pushing lower and lower, then you know, it is what it is. So there is no sells. Yeah, but I would love to see some reaction from this level, and maybe we can look for the push to the upside first to this candle high, and then maybe eventually we can look for the holding position up to higher levels, maybe to this buy side liquidity first. Obviously on the lower time frame you also have a targets, but let's see. Alright, so no questions. Alright, so the waiting game begins, guys. Alright. Alright, so in the 4-hour time frame, you can see that we'll have swept the old low, which is the sell side liquidity. Once again, we swept the sell side liquidity, and with this candle, you would expect for this most likely with this candle to close inside and then look for buys, but that's not the case. Price closed back, price closed below the range, which means that we expect the lower prices. So we will see how this candle will set up for us. Are you more like a swing trader? I think I'm more like day trader. Sometimes scalper, but mostly a day trader, which means I go from the 4-hour ranges, right, down to 15 or 5-minute time frame for the entry, and I can hold my trades. It just depends. Sometimes day, sometimes 10 minutes, sometimes 20, sometimes 1 hour. It just depends on the market, right? But swing trading is like, you go from the higher time frame, like weekly, daily, monthly. You're looking for the swing trade. More like weekly, daily, 4-hour. Like you are looking for the swing moves, right, on the higher time frame. So what I mean by 4-hour, is like you're looking for an entries on the 4-hour, okay, from the higher time frame. So I go with the 4-hour time frame as my higher time frame, and I go down to 15 or 5 minute as my lower time frame for looking for an entry, right? So I would say I'm more like day trader. All right. So I can't take buys right here, guys, because the previous candle did close below the previous candle range on the 4-hour time frame, which means I would expect the lower prices. And until price does sweep the low, I can't take the buys. So yeah. So this gray zone, guys, if you're wondering what it is from swing low to swing high. We have the largest swing. We have even a larger, but we will go with this one. And until price invalidates the low, this is the valid swing. So we can expect some reaction from this. So this is how I use the fib as my for my potential key levels to look where price may reverse. Obviously, this is not not the case every single time, but it just helps me to look for a potential points of the reversal. Sorry for my English, guys. Bro, I take that entry from SMC concept. Yes, what entry you're talking about, my friend? Yeah. What entry are you talking about? No, I know what does mean SMC, but what do you mean? I confirmation from lower time frame, bro. I take entry from SMC, bro. I take that entry. Yes, but you're saying I take that entry. What entry you take? I don't get it, bro. Sorry. Alright, so is it going to be an unfortunate day again because price did not actually sweep the 4-hour candle low, which I would need for me to take buys, right? Also, remember guys, today is Friday, so it's fine. So if you ask me guys, this week I had only so this week guys I had only one trade, which was a loss. So I had only one trade this week. That was on Monday, and I took a loss. Bro, which concept are you using? I just did everything. So I would say I'm using the CRT, which is the candle range theory. This just helps me to look for the liquidity pools from the higher time frame, and then obviously I go with the lower time frame entries, which is ICT concepts like fair value gap, order block, inversion fair value gap. So I basically use only like three or four entry models, which is basically I would say even two, because inversion fair value gap and fair value gap is the same, it's just inverted, but I would go with the order block or the fair value gap. At the same time, I use the CRT, which is a the way to look for the liquidity, which is every candle is the range. You should treat every candle as a range, right, from the higher time frame to lower time frame. So for example, you go from the 4 hour to look for the liquidity pools or potential places where price may reverse, and then look for the CRT candle, which is the range, which is the clean range, and then you look for the manipulation and you look for the entry confirmation. So that's pretty much it. So basically, the CRT concept or method is the simplest way to look for the liquidity pools from where price may take off, right? So yeah, unfortunately, price is pushing up, and I did not get my entry. Actually, I am from India, and I also do intraday using smart money concept in Forex. Yep, that's that's fine. That's great. That's great. Good morning, guys. Good morning. So you are Hindi. What's your real name? If you ask me, Tahir, I'm not Hindi, and yeah, I'm just answering questions. How many experience do you have, bro? If you're talking about years, I would say around 6 years of experience. If you ask me about my journey, so it's already been 46 years. What is your real name? So my real name is Elvis. You know, like Elvis Presley. So that's easy for you to understand. Grade 6 year, and you from? I am from Eastern Europe, guys. I am from Eastern Europe. Okay, bro, what about your prediction on this chart? What will happen? Well, as I said, I am waiting for price to sweep the sell side liquidity, and then maybe I can look for potential buys. If no, and price continues pushing lower, then I will have no trade. So I would expect for price obviously to have some retracement. So it just depends how price how how low price wants to go. Either it wants to sweep this sell side liquidity or go lower into the order block. Yeah, but we'll see. Or we can just push from here. So it just depends. But I can say that if price does not sweep the liquidity from the previous candle, low or high, I can't look for the trade because the previous candle did close below the previous candle range of this candle. That means that I would expect the lower prices with the 9 a.m. candle, and until price does sweep the high or the low of that range, I can't say you know I can't say like in the 100% that price will go up or down, because price is in the range, right? So it can go up and down inside this range until price does sweep the either sell side or buy side liquidity. So Yeah, you can see that price is in the range. Not much you can do inside this range, right? In my end, 5 a.m. CRT low is purged. No, it's not. Just if you are on the different broker, maybe, but on my end there is nothing. As you can see, that 5 a.m. candle is right here. There is nothing is swept, not high, not the low. So yeah. All right, so looks like price is coming to sweep the sell side liquidity, right? It's fine. All right, so we're sweeping the sell side liquidity. Right now, price did sweep the the 5 p.m. Candle range low. So at this point, you can see that it is swept, right? So we will see if if I can look for an entry, because price did go up first, made a break to the upside. Now price is pushing it down. It just depends how low price wants to go. So we'll see if I can get buys, because price can just continue pushing to the downside. So bro, if price touch the 50% of CRT candle range without giving entry, and if it comes to an entry after hitting 50, do you take it? It just depends how the candle's closing, right? Because, for example, if the 4-hour candle, right now, so you have this CRT, right? And for example, price did, went down first, then came back to the 50% of the range and closed back inside the range as the second candle of the manipulation. Then with the third candle, obviously I would expect for price to go down first and then push to the upside, even though that price did this 50 came up to the 50% of the range. So at that point, it just depends how the candle's closing on the higher time frame, right? Which pro firm did you trade on? I trade on funding pips. So let's just say you have the candle, right? So this is your candle. This is your range candle, right? So this is the first candle you look for as a range candle, right? So for example, this is a 50% of the candle range, right? Now, so this is the 50% of the range, right? And the candle, what it did, the second candle, it did manipulate the low, right? It did went down, sweep the low of this candle, and now price, for example, pushed to the 50% of the range, right? So let's just make it clear. So price did push to the 50% of the range and then came down, right? But the price already did sweep the sell side liquidity and closed back inside the range. So with the next candle, what you would expect is obviously for price to go down and then again for price to push to the upside. Even though that price already touched the 50% of the range with the second candle, but it did close inside it did close inside the range. So the third candle, you would expect for price to push lower, touch the PD array, for example, order block or fair value gap, and then you look for the continuation to the upside. So in this case, yes, but if price after this candle close does sweep the low, then comes back up, touch the 50% of the range, and then closes back below the range, right? So at that point, you would expect price to continue pushing down. So I hope it's clear. What if it came back to entry before closing the current? Then I would be break even at that point if price already touched the 50% of the range with my first entry, right? So if I enter after price does sweep the low immediately and then I enter the trade, I aiming the 50% of the range where I would secure at least half or even more of my position, and I would place my stop loss at the at break even at that point. Because if price does come down and it closes back below the candle range and the candle closes below the previous candle range, it doesn't make sense for you to look for trade. So it's all optional, guys. There is a lot of things that you have to count because, yeah, as I said, like you have to watch the candle closures on the higher time frame. You have to watch the how price does react to the 50%, if it goes if it wants to go up or no. So there is plenty of things, guys, and at some point I will there will be everything I know in the in the premium group, which is maybe at some point will come up. I just don't know yet if I want to do it or no, and if I have time. But if I will do it, I will have the premium group where we will do a Zoom sessions where I will show you everything I know, and yeah, there is plenty of things I can tell you, and a lot of things. But you don't need a lot of things. Like you just pick up what works for you, and then you go from there. So you don't you can there is you can know a lot of things, right? But you're not going to use them all, right? So you just pick what works for you and you use it, right? And you use it repeatedly every single day, every single week, month, year, and you just use what works best for you, right? So yeah. Are we looking for the lower time frame confirmations? Yep. Waiting for this 30-minute candle to close first. All right. You know, guys, I really want for price to even sweep this low once again, and then maybe I can look for something to the upside, because it's not enough for me to take buys, right? There is no entry. Yeah, I think that I would love to see price sweeping the low again, and then obviously from here I can look for something to the upside. So currently still waiting, guys, still waiting. So if price does go lower, sweep this low, touches the order block on the 4-hour time frame, and then maybe I can look for something, you know, to opposing side of the range, right? So it just depends how price does set up for me, and if I can get an entry, right? If no, then no, guys, nothing you can do. But yeah. So if you have more questions, guys, feel free to ask, because I will be here another 20 minutes or so, and then I dip off. What do you see in M1, 2, 3? All we need is 5 minute or OB. Yeah, sure. You can use a 3 minutes. You can use a 5 minutes. It just depends on what works best for you, right? So I use 5 minutes or 15 minutes with the 4-hour time frame, right? So yeah. So let's see, guys, if we can sweep the low here, and then if we can look for something to the upside. If no, then guys, this is most likely for me this week for entry confirmation. What do you see? So I look for the fair value gap, or I look for the order block, I look for the inversion fair value. I mean, I use only two PD arrays, right? It's a fair value gap and a order block. on the lower time frame. So if they come both in the same move, this is just very high probability entry for you. If you know, it has order block and the fair value gap, so it's a very high probability. But I look for the fair value gap, order block. That's it. Yeah, so for me to take buys, guys, I will have to wait for price to sweep the low here on the 30-minute time frame to go down, and then maybe I can look for something to the upside. So this is what I would look for, right? Only this, nothing else. I'm not gonna buy here because there is nothing to buy from, and I think that price can still come lower. So, yep. Guys, I always say if you see your setup, if you are waiting for something and you see it, you know, it just did what you was waiting for, and you know, for example, I am not in the trade, but you're looking for the trade, feel free to take trade, guys. Don't look at me, right? Because we all trade different, right? So it just all depends on your entry, I mean, on your strategy and the way you trade, okay? So you just do whatever you want, and I'm here just to, you know, um, to make you not get bored and maybe I answer some questions, right? So, because for me, I do those live streams because, you know, sometimes I just get bored while I'm waiting for the trade, and this is just helps me to you know, also answering the questions is helps you to learn something else. I mean, it just helps you to learn. Alright, so this is the range high. This is the range high. Okay, range high, and this is the range low. Alright, this is here. Okay, so let's see. let's see. This is, guys, why it's very important to wait, right? It's very important to wait. Very. I love the way you trade with patience. I'm building my patience in your stream. Well, you see, building the patience is just like I just wait for my setup, right? It's all I do, right? Because there is nothing else I do different. I just wait for my setup. If it comes, it comes. If no, then no. This is the patience, right? This is the patience in itself. You just wait for your setup. So yeah. You're the most patient trader on YouTube. Uh, Maybe. I don't know because there is plenty of people who trades, plenty of people. So they may be maybe their strategy is is like they see that they have the strategy that they can take trade every single day. So maybe that's why they're not patient, right? That's why they take every position. So maybe. Thank you for your kind words. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right. Alright guys, we are touching the order block on the 4-hour time frame. We didn't really came to the sell side liquidity, which is right here. So let's see, maybe we will come even lower guys to take the sell side liquidity, as there is no entry yet still. So Yeah, let's see guys if price can close above this candle right here. So at that point this would be a order block, and let's see if price can close above and we can push up. Yes, I'm looking entry until 11 a.m. Alright, so price did sweep the sell side liquidity. All right, guys. So at this point, I think I will finish my stream. There is nothing happening. Price, just kept pushing down for the sell side liquidity. So next week we may expect for price to sweep the low of this daily candle from Friday, and we can see some retracement to the upside. So I think at this point, guys, I will finish my stream. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. I hope you found this stream insightful, and see you in the next one on Monday. Let's see if we don't have the bank holiday on Monday. No, we don't. So yeah, so I think that yeah, see you on Monday, and thank you for watching, guys, once again, and